Hi, so we did overview the connection between the compositor and other departments. The next important thing for you to know is what software do you need to use. So that's what we're going to go through in this video. For the compositor, the industry standard is considered to be Nuke. However, After Effects is very popular and used broadly as well. It's not like Nuke is superior over the After Effects or the way around. There are major and minor differences there. The one of them is workflow. I'm not going to go more in detail about that, but in short, in After Effects, it is a layer-based workflow where each file has got its own layer and they stacked upon each other. That's how they create the overall picture. When the Nuke workflow is known as a node-based workflow. It's basically like cards laid down on the table where you see them all in front of you and you mix them together. You connect the dots between those cards. That's how you create the overall image in the viewer. So Nuke is less destructive. It's easier visually to organize those cards. But it might be harder to learn than After Effects if you started from Adobe products like Photoshop, where everything is layer-based. The next difference also is that the Nuke allows you to use a 3D environment. It is integrated in the software itself, when After Effects does not have that. You need to use external plugins like Element 3D by Videvo Copilot. That allows you to use 3D objects and move them around there. But the main difference is the price. Nuke is very expensive. It's between $5,000 to $8,000. When After Effects you can get for around $20 as a standalone unit, and for $50 I think you can get the full package of Adobe products like Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects, Premiere Pro, which is really a good deal. There's another software called Fusion by Blackmagic. It is free and it also has got a node-based workflow like Nuke. That's another software you could use. So that is for the compositing. If you decide to become a visual effects artist and move further, you will need to learn more softwares. So let's go and overview each skill and see which software you might be using. Well, as we learned, for the compositing, it's After Effects, Nuke or Fusion. There might be other softwares as well. You can also use the compositing softwares for the green screen removal, as well as the rotoscoping. Those softwares has got all the tools there. However, if it gets more complicated, there's a software called Mocha Pro. It's around $1,700. You can buy it as a plugin for the software or as a standalone unit as well. Also, the compositing softwares can help you with retouching to do a simple fixes there. You definitely will need a Photoshop to retouch and repaint the environment. And of course, Mocha Pro that I mentioned is very helpful for the complex situations of the retouch. And very similar for the matte painting. You can do simple fixes in the compositing software, and you will need Photoshop as well to paint the background itself. However, when the shapes are getting more complex, you will definitely need a 3D software to make the model, which you will project the image onto. The industry standard for films, visual effects, video games, and 3D animation is Maya. When 3ds Max is more used for engineering type of modeling, architecture, maybe a product or interior design. You can get those for around $300 per month. There also is a software called Cinema 4D, which in my opinion is more user-friendly than Maya, as it is much easier to learn. It is $3,500. One more software worth to be mentioned is called a Blender. It is completely free to use and also allows to achieve a good results. So for the matte painting and projection mapping, it does not matter which software you're gonna use, but if you decide to venture into a 3D world, then use the trial versions and play around, see what works for you, and then move on from there. And digital effects like fire, explosions, fluid simulations, destructions, and much more can be achieved with 3D softwares that we have mentioned before, which allow to achieve good results. You can also use an external plugins for the compositing or 3D softwares. But there is a popular software that specializes in digital effects known as Houdini, and it costs from $270 to $1,700. And the last one is tracking. The compositing software does contain tracking there, so it might be enough for you. But if the scene becomes more complex, you might need external softwares there. One of them is Buju, the most expensive one. It's around $4,800, but it's a good software. Then there's Synthesize, which in my opinion has got a very good manual tracking, but it's not really user-friendly, I would say. It's around $300, $500. PF Track is around $1,700, and it is node-based, which is close to the way Nuke works. And then there's Mocha Pro, which I mentioned before. Instead of 2D or 3D tracking, Mocha Pro uses planar tracker, which is very helpful in extra complex situations. So that would be all for the softwares. For the compositing, choose the one you like, play with it, try, see for yourself which one do you like more. However, I am going to use After Effects as I believe it is easier to get your hands on. Most of you will use it as the beginners. I want to mention another thing, that in these tutorials I'm not going to show you how to use the software. You have to do that on your own. That's homework for you. I'm only going to share with you a practical technical skills that can be applied in any software, as most of the skills are under the similar name. It's just a different workflow, but the main reason and idea behind it is the same. So now you know about the softwares, and I hope it was helpful for you, and it's easier for you to kind of flow there, as now you would have a little bit more clear picture of the softwares and which one you need for which skill. So thank you for your patience, and see you in the next lesson.